And we are back. Hillary Clinton is facing new scrutiny for her connections with major donors to the Clinton Foundation. The New York Times is reporting Mr. and Mrs. Clinton's foundation received millions of dollars from the heads of a Canadian uranium company. At the time, Russia was working to acquire the company. The report also claims Bill Clinton received $500,000 for a speech in Moscow from a Russian investment bank linked to the Kremlin. The Times claims Hillary Clinton signed off on the deal when she was Secretary of State. The Clinton campaign spokesman Brian Fallon sent a statement to NBC saying, in part, "No one has produced a shred of evidence that Hillary Clinton ever took action as Secretary of State in order to support the interests of donors to the Clinton Foundation. To suggest the State Department, under then-Secretary Clinton, exerted undue influence in the U.S. government's review of the sale of Uranium One is utterly baseless." Also today, news leaks from the upcoming book, Clinton Cash. One of the chapters alleges a Canadian donor pledged over $100 million to the foundation. He then allegedly influenced Hillary Clinton's stance on a trade deal. I'm joined tonight by James Carville, Democratic strategist, a longtime associate with the Clintons, and a man of many talents. Mr. Carville, you're going to need some special talent on this one. Some people are thinking, is this going to be a problem for Hillary Clinton?
Well, again, as Brian Fallon pointed out, there's everything here but that she did anything as a result of it. So, and again, the Colombia Free Trade Agreement is ludicrous. That's something I happen to know something about. That's about as silly as it can be. The thing's been around for a long time. The president supported. She was Secretary of State, but that gnat will be crushed with a sledgehammer. I'm not, very concerned about this. And this entire book thing is falling apart. They already. ABC News has found all kind of errors, and the author says he's going to issue this correction. It's just that, Ed, this is spaghetti journalism. Let's just throw spaghetti at the wall and hope something sticks, and that's about all it amounts to.
And I think that there's a lot of Clinton loyalists that are going to believe exactly what you're saying, and a lot of Americans are going to think that too. But here is a fact. The Clintons are refiling their tax returns. Why is this happening?
I think they're refiling I think it's the foundation. But anybody can refile a tax return. I don't know what that means, anything. People amend tax returns all the time. The foundation itself got the highest rating from the transparency people that judge this kind of thing that you can possibly get. But if somebody wants to make something that the foundation is readjusting a tax return, who knows? And I think the thing's got like $2 billion. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an accounting glitch somewhere. How would I know?
Do you think the Clintons have to prove that they have not personally profited from the foundation? Are we at that point?
No, I don't think personally profited from the foundation. I think the foundation is really one of the great organizations that I've been around. I mean, they can put out all of the things that they've done, all the people that have been associated with it. I know Haiti, and I know in terms of juvenile AIDS drugs, God knows what not. They've done some terrific work, but they can defend themselves. It's one of the best charities there is in the country. I know they work with them a lot on relief from Hurricane Sandy. They did a lot of innovative stuff. Some of the finest people in the world are associated with that.
There's no doubt about that. But it's the timing of this, and I want to go back to the tax returns if I can. People amend tax returns when they're not correct. People refile tax returns when there are mistakes. What's your response to that?
I don't know. Maybe it was a mistake. How do I know? I mean, people make. I know I've had to file a return. If somebody comes up and you do this, companies, God knows what. I think the foundation is what, $2 billion. I mean, I don't know the details of it, but you'd have to ask some accountant. But I wouldn't find it unusual or out of the ordinary that somebody's got to refile a tax return, do a do-over. It's a foundation, and the laws that pertain to that is something I'm really not that familiar with.
As a political consultant to a campaign that would run into something like this, what would be your advice?
I think they're doing pretty good. I think, you know, look, the whole book, the Clinton, whatever it is, this guy, this anti-Disney, gay, Breitbart, Glenn Beck, or whatever this guy is, I think this thing has been, the pushback on it has been pretty effective. And, you know, this will happen, and then next week they'll think of something else, and it'll be this. And I think the campaign itself has been pretty effective in dealing with this stuff.
Okay, James Carville.
Thank you.
Good to have you with us tonight,
Always
James.
my
I appreciate
pleasure.
your
Thank
time.
you.